I look good. I look good. I look exactly the way you wish you could. I look good. I look good. I look good. The way you wish you could. I look good. I look good. Come on. I'm in love with a girl that I call old school. Sipping on my brandy, I'm feeling brand new. Got the feather in my hat because I'm just that cool. You peeping at my alligators, been kinda slow. I look good. I look good. I look exactly the way you wish you could. I look good. I look good. I look good.
Welcome to Rogers Center. The Texas Rangers will take on the Blue Jays tonight. Rangers off to a red-hot start, 17-6. That's the best start in their franchise history over the first 23 games. Mike Napoli is behind the plate. He has been a red-hot hitter for Texas. A double 6 home runs in his last 12 games. Top of the order is always tough. That top three really sets the table very effectively. Kinsler, Andrews, and Young ahead of the cleanup batter, Nelson Cruz.
Hit on the hill tonight for the Toronto Blue Jays. Just 2 starts under his belt, but his last one was much better against the Baltimore Orioles. Drew Hutcherson takes his fastball slider combination to the mound tonight. He threw more four-seam fastballs and challenged the Orioles in his last outing a lot better. Just 2 runs on 6 hits against the Orioles. Made 3 starts in Double-A this year with an ERA of about 2, and now here he is in the big leagues, and he is learning every time he takes the mound.
Got his first look at the Texas Rangers last night. First pitch to Ian Kinsler. He cuts on it and fouls it back. Kinsler 1 for 3 in the game last night. He also struck out. He is tied with Matt Kemp for the Major League lead in runs scored. They have scored 24 runs, hitting just under 300. Hutcherson ahead 0-2. Get used to that. He's a strike thrower, and this is his 3rd game. He should be a little bit more at ease on the mound.
Excited his last time out. His first time against Kansas City. A little bit better again his last time. And he used that four-seam fastball. He's got that ability to go in and out with it.
Pulled that one off the plate. It's 1-2 to Ian Kinsler. New Rangers record with 24 runs scored in April. Cut on and missed. Kinsler strikes out.
When you put fastball in the mind of the leadoff batter, he's never faced you before. That's when you can slip that slider down and away. Drew Hutcherson does just that after a couple of fastballs. Picks up his first strikeout.
Shortstop Elvis Andrews had a couple of hits in last night's game. Andrews really starting to come into his own both at the plate and in the field. Down and away. You would imagine, and even though Kinsler went after the first pitch, you'd imagine the Rangers want to get a little information off Hutcherson, have a look, see what he's featured tonight. They've not faced him before.
Might be like the Blue Jays in last night's game, how they took a lot of pitches early against Yu Darvish.
Drew Hutcherson, just 21 years old. The Blue Jays now have had 289 consecutive starts from a starter under 30. Andrews bunts right through it. Tampa Bay had that long run, over 700 consecutive starts with the starter under 30 until James Shields made his first start this season. That snapped that streak, and the Blue Jays currently have the longest streak in baseball. That bodes well for their future.
Yeah, they've got a couple of guys just at 27, 28 years old, and Romero and Morrow, so they can keep that going if they're here.
Down and in. There's that two-seamer that moved off the plate inside.
Felt like at times there's Romero and Morrow. They'll keep that streak going. Ricky is going to pitch in tomorrow's game.
Strike three call. Drew Hutcherson off to a fast start tonight, striking out the first two Rangers.
Scouting report for young Drew Hutcherson is brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners get used to the fastball. You're right. Four-seam fastball. He used it a lot more frequent in his last start. He throws about 80% of the time. The changeup is developing, and his slider is also developing. If he gets all of those over for strikes, there's three pitches, his ability to move it in and out on that strike zone, he's going to be just fine.
Michael Young looks at a first pitch strike. Goes too far. Hutcherson is ahead 0-2.
Boy, that's how you come out of the chute right there when you're facing the Texas Rangers. You just attack them with strike zone. He knows that they've never faced him before. They just have film on him. So why wait around?
How about that? Young chases the slider. 3 up, 3 down in the first. Drew Hutcherson strikes out the side. He gets Ian Kinsler on a breaking ball, down and away. Andrews looks at a fastball. Young can't connect on the breaking pitch. Pitchers in last night's game. You know, Escobar, Kelly Johnson, Jose Bautista. They've got to get something going top of the order. Adam Lind, Encarnacion, and then Eric Thames. His last 7 games, he's hit 410 for 25. He's got a double and a pair of home runs. But this offensive team is certainly not hitting near their capabilities at this time.
When they get together and start hitting, it's going to be a very dangerous offensive team. 23-year-old, he'll be 24 tomorrow. Neftali Feliz will get the start tonight, make his 4th start, 5th appearance of the season. He last started on April the 21st when he was matched up with Justin Verlander, game 2 of a doubleheader with the Detroit Tigers, and what Texas is trying to do with him. We're trying to watch his innings, so he made a relief appearance last week against the Yankees and a start now as Ron Washington keeps his innings to a low spot.
Guinel Escobar takes a first pitch strike. There's a base hit into right field. Escobar went with the pitch and starts the night off with the single.
Neftali Feliz was a reliever last year. When you're a power closer, you can go fastball, slider, and get away with it. Now he is into being a starter, so he needs 3 pitches. His fastball, you can see this year, he is throwing it fewer times, more sliders, and more changeups for Feliz. So he's got to work through the lineup 3 different times. He can't just go out there and just power his way through like he did as a closer.
Kelly Johnson goes after the first pitch. Interesting to see the Blue Jays and how they approach Feliz. Last night, Yu Darvish, the starter, in his 7 innings of work, threw 21 of 27 first pitch strikes.
And I think it surprised some of the Blue Jay hitters how quickly that ball got on top of him. Tonight, you're right. You might see a different approach against Neftali Feliz.
The Blue Jays over the last several seasons have been very aggressive early in the count. Look for fastballs. You get one, turn it loose. Ball on the strike. Off speed pitch. That's one thing we didn't see from Feliz when he was a closer. He didn't have to throw that.
Nope.
Faced 3 guys in the 9th inning. You could pump fastballs by him.
Yeah, and he could reach triple digits when he was reaching back as a closer and then dropping that slider on you. But as a starter, ball gets away from Moreland. Better thought by Escobar. Didn't get far enough away from him. But as a starter, you have to navigate your way through the lineup. You've got to use all of your pitches. And when you watch Feliz now, it's not max effort like he was when he was a closer, when he just had 1 inning to figure out.
5 appearances against the Blue Jays, all in relief. Feliz ahead of Johnson, 1-2. Ground ball. Kinsler flips to Andrews at second for 1. Back to first, double play. So the leadoff single is erased. Kinsler starts the double play.
Again, here's what you're looking for from Neftali Feliz. His fastball last year over 96. It's dropped down just a little bit more, but his strikeout percentage, the swing and miss percentage, is a little bit lower. You'll get more ground ball out, a lot like what we have seen from Brandon Morrow. More curveballs, more changeups, more ground balls, fewer strikeouts.
Jose Bautista in a hole 0-2. Those last 2 fastballs at 98. He's getting more confident as a starter. I mentioned this is his 4th start. 97. Isn't that funny how he tried to throw a little bit harder and he didn't get the same velocity?
Yeah, you reach back, you stiffen up just a little bit more. It's like when you're trying to swing a bat hard. Swing a bat hard and it just slows you down.
Bautista hitting just 181. 3 homers and 10 RBI. It's a rough month for him, but now he can turn the page. Breaking ball and Bautista strikes out. Both pitchers off to a good start. A 1-2-3 for Feliz, and Hutcherson struck out the side in his first.
Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware and building center location. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Lots of fans here at Rogers Center mulling over the merchandise available. Boy, oh boy, that new blue jersey has been very popular. You see it all over around Toronto and all across Canada. We've seen it on the road. Cleveland, Baltimore, and we'll probably see it in Anaheim.
That would show me something if we saw it out in Anaheim.
I bet you we do. We will see plenty of blue jerseys out there. Ricky Romero's family will have them all.
That's right.
Ball on the strike to Nelson Cruz. Cruz drove in the first run of the ball game last night. He ended up double to the gap in right center. Drove home Adrian Beltre. Cut on and missed. Boy, Hutcherson is sharp.
Yeah. Stay right there. He's really been on the edges so far in this game with his fastball, now with his slider, especially to the right-hander. At one point, though, he's going to have to be able to throw the ball inside.
Tried to get Cruz to chase. With a veteran lineup like the Rangers, I don't like to see strike breaking balls in the zone with 2 strikes. I think they're all such good 2-strike hitters that when you throw a breaking pitch in the zone, chances are they're going to hit it.
It's got to be in the zone and then out of the strike zone. They've just, you're right, veteran hitters, people like Michael Young and Kinsler and Cruz, they know how to hit, and they know how to hit mistakes. I don't care what the count is. You make a mistake, and they've shown in their careers that they can hurt you.
Beltre last night had 3 hits. 2-2. Driven down the right side. That ball is slicing toward the seats, and it'll hit the wall. Fans, a reminder, tonight is another BlackBerry Tweeting Tuesday. Stay up to date with all the latest Blue Jays news and information by following the club on Twitter. Submit your question during tonight's game to @BlueJays, and your question could be selected as our Twitter fan question of the night. So log on and send your questions, and we'll answer one of those questions right here tonight. 2-2. There's that inside pitch. How about that? Drew Hutcherson has struck out 4 in a row.
Oh, I love it right there. It's 2-seam fastball, and he goes inside. Cruz, a couple balls away. He likes it out there. This time he ties him up with that 2-seam fastball right underneath the bat. That's how you move the ball in and out.
So Cruz strikes out. David Murphy went 0 for 4 in the game last night. Goes after the first pitch, and he will get a single to left field. Hit it off the end of the bat, but he wasn't going to wait around. He'd seen enough of Hutcherson getting ahead.
That's right. He said, I'm not going to be hitting 0-1. Murphy, .327 career batting average against the Blue Jays. Does it again. Right off the end of the bat. 2-seam fastball. Dumps it right in front of Eric Thames for the Rangers' first hit.
It's not an accident that the Rangers lead baseball with a .291 team average. They are smart hitters. Mike Napoli, he was 0 for last night. Hitting .257 in the early going. Up and away. Seven home runs. He trails his teammate Josh Hamilton. Hamilton led the American League in the month of April with 9. (2-0). Curtis Granderson and Edwin Encarnacion are tied with 8 home runs at second in the American League. Then Napoli and Miguel Cabrera both have 7. Josh Hamilton dealing with a back issue. Adrian Beltre has a sore hamstring, so they're both not in the lineup tonight.
3 and 4 out of the lineup for Texas. Some production right there that's sitting on the bench for the Rangers.
Hamilton had 25 RBI. He's second in the American League in hitting to David Ortiz. Ortiz hitting .405, Hamilton .395.
Wow.
3-0 pitch outside a 4-pitch walk. So after striking out 4 in a row to begin the game, Drew Hutcherson has given out a single and a walk.
Get back into that strike throwing machine that we saw here the first 4 outs. Doesn't walk a whole lot of batters.
Hutcherson's always been able to command the strike zone, and we saw that when we watched him pitch 2 springs ago. Came over and started the game against Philadelphia right at the end of spring training. Mitch Moreland homered in last night's game, went opposite field. Down and away. Falls behind again. Two and 0. Mathis is going to make a quick trip to the mound. Jeff Mathis is behind the plate today to catch Drew Hutcherson. John Farrell was asked about Aaron Seavey. He said Aaron Seavey is going to catch Ricky Romero. It's a 12:37 start tomorrow, and he doesn't like to have his catchers catch day game after night game, so he liked the matchup with Aaron Seavey sticking with Ricky Romero and having Mathis, the veteran, catch Drew Hutcherson.
That's smart. You talk about the backup catcher catching the day game after the night game, and that's not necessarily true. You can catch him in the night game, save your number 1 for the day game.
There's a strike. Mathis is a terrific catcher. Of course, he came up through the California Angel system and worked under Mike Scioscia.
And he has seen these Texas Ranger hitters 18 times a year for all those years he was in Anaheim.
There's a slicing ball down the left side, and that is a foul ball. Mentioned Moreland had an opposite field home run. It came off a left-hander. Evan Crawford came in to start the 7th inning. Moreland greeted him with the home run, his 3rd of the season, and then back-to-back home runs as Craig Gentry went deep as well against Crawford.
His 2nd home run, Moreland, against a left-handed pitcher in his career. The other one was against Toronto last year. Shows good power the other way.
Two and two, 2 on, 1 out. Bounce to Mathis, stays on his feet and gets to it quickly. We watched Mathis work last year with the Angels, and he put on a clinic blocking baseballs just like he does here. He gets to his feet very quickly and checks the runner, Murphy, at second.
You get that glove turned around very quickly so you could get it between your legs, block that baseball in the dirt, keep it in front of you.
Full count. Base hit left field. Murphy coming toward third. He'll be stopped as Thames gets the ball in quickly to Lordy. And the Rangers have something cooking here in the 2nd.
Change up from Hutcherson away from it. Again, Moreland was showing that he can hit the ball the other way. Gets his bat out there and goes with it. Watch how the ball is turned over. But he stays right with it, stays on top of it, and drives it into left field. Really no chance for Murphy to score as the ball gets to Thames quickly. Eric charged that ball very confidently. Came hard, and there's no way that Murphy can score on it.
Alberto Gonzalez goes after the first pitch. There's a base hit to right. Bautista plays it on the hop. Murphy comes in to score. And Gonzalez not wasting any time. Recognizing that Hutcherson had thrown a lot of first pitch strikes, jumps on the first pitch he sees.
See, the bottom of the lineup getting a chance to watch the top of the lineup hit. Found out that they were falling behind early in the count against Drew Hutcherson, so they are not wasting any time. Ball hit hard the other way by Gonzalez. Stays behind that ball, too. It looked like a breaking ball from Hutcherson. Away from it. That's why I think what we were saying when Cruz was at the plate, they're going to have to pitch inside at some point. The hitters are just too good at the major league level to keep showing them one side of the plate.
Yeah, he threw that give me over breaking ball, and as Gonzalez did, he slapped it into right. So now the number 9 hitter, Craig Gentry, starting in place of Josh Hamilton in center. Went 1 for 4, but his one hit left the ballpark. His first home run of the season.
And his first home run in his career that cleared the wall. Second career home run. One was an inside the Parker. That was the first one where he could trot around the bases.
Was after the first pitch. Laurie goes to second for 1. Back to first. Not in time. Gentry really runs well. And that ball wasn't that sharply hit. They might have been better off to come home to try to save the run. Gentry really runs down the first baseline quickly, and that wasn't your typical double play ball.
John Farrell's going to come out and talk to Joe West, but you're right. Ball wasn't hit hard, so maybe you come home and get the sure out. Gentry just runs too well, outruns the baseball, so you get the out at home and keep the bases loaded. I understand third base, you've got to go around the horn as your momentum takes you to second base. I think what the argument's going to be here, John Farrell's going to talk to the crew chief, Joe West. Did the runner at second base interfere with Brett Laurie fielding and throwing that baseball?
Blue Jays had that called against them last year against the Angels in extra innings.
You can see Joe West talk to him. Here's Brett Laurie, catches the ball. There's the fielder right there. And from that angle, it didn't look like there was any problem.
John Farrell wanted to make sure that Laurie was not.
You can't touch him.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't touch him at all.
So the bases remain loaded, but excuse me, they're not loaded. There's first and third with 2 outs now. Texas has scored 2 in the second.
Be careful now with Kinsler. He is known to swing early in the counts.
Kinsler went after the first pitch of the ball game. And takes a strike. Important for these young starters to just kind of slow the game down in these situations and don't let the inning get away from you.
Concentrate pitch by pitch. You make a pitch and you're going to get him out.
There goes the runner. No throw from Mathis. Gentry got a great jump at first. He'll pick up his 3rd steal of the season.
Keep the heat on the opposition. Jeff Mathis right away. Just forget about that runner going to second. He looked towards third to see if there was going to be a double steal on or if the Rangers had put something on. He knew that it didn't make any sense to throw through and try and get Gentry. So now Hutchinson has his work cut out for him here with a couple of runners in scoring position.
Ball and a strike on Ian Kinsler. Down and away. Drew Hutcherson started this game striking out the first 4 batters he faced. Then David Murphy cut on the first pitch and singled to left. Napoli walked. Moreland had a single. Gonzalez had a single. Then Gentry picked up an RBI on the fielder's choice. Now it's 3-1.
Kinsler got hot last year and he's really kept it going this year. He had 19 home runs after the All-Star break last year. Good power stroke at that top of the lineup.
Fouls it back. For comparison's sake, Edwin Encarnacion after the break had 17. And we knew how hot Edwin was, and Kinsler was even a little bit better.
Yeah. He can turn on some fastballs.
Full count, 2 outs. Runners at second and third. Fly ball right field. Bautista won't make the catch. Plays it off a hop. Bounces off his glove. 2 runs come in to score. And Kinsler ends up at second.
2 out RBIs. Veteran hitters can use the whole field. They have an idea what they want to do. And Kinsler's going to pick up a couple more RBIs to push his total to 14.
Another double for Ian Kinsler. Comes with 2 outs. His 8th of the season. Drives home 2.
Looks like they cut the fastball away. Stayed right with it. Another ball that was hit to the opposite field. Murphy, Moreland, Gonzalez, and now Kinsler. Think they make the adjustments?
Veteran hitters taking what you will give them. We saw it in last night's game. Going to the opposite power alley. They have a reputation for being good hitters because they use the whole field. And this is without Josh Hamilton and Adrian Beltre. Inside, pushes Andrews off the plate. Might want to come right back and double up on the inside. Seems as though the Rangers have picked up on the fact that Hutcherson's going to work them away.
Yeah, you got to bust them in. I think that's a great idea. Get in there. Just put that thought that you might pump a fastball in there.
One and 2. Rangers have taken a 4-0 lead here. Top half of the second. Breaking ball in the dirt. 2 and 2. '21-year-old Drew Hutcherson making his 3rd big league start. He won his debut against the Royals in Kansas City. Inside, that'll drop for a base hit. Kinsler's around third. He will score. And it's a 5-run inning. Hutcherson struck out the first 4 batters he faced, and from then on it was all Texas Rangers.
Yeah, and I think they've made the adjustment that he's going to try and stay away from him. That ball was away, and they went away. That's 3 straight hits, and then Kinsler, a ball away from him. He stayed on that one and hit it into right field. It's a group that leads the American League in average and so many other categories, and they're just good hitters. They make adjustments and they figure out what you're trying to do to them.
Ian Kinsler has just taken the lead in runs scored in the big leagues. Now scored 25 runs. This is the 24th Rangers game of the season.
Sets the table. He's got speed. He stole 30 bases last year, hit 30 home runs last year. And it's nice when you get on base and you've got those guys behind you who could knock you in.
See, they're exchanging information on that dugout bench. This is what I saw. Michael Young is the 9th Ranger to bat this inning. Texas hitters have gone 4 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Young takes the strike. Young struck out to end the first. Hutcherson had a 1-2-3 first when he struck out the side. Young goes the other way. Bautista on the move, makes the catch. Veteran hitters going to the opposite field. Put up a 5 spot against Drew Hutcherson. Event from Cambridge, Ontario, for being selected tonight's Blackberry Tweeting Tuesday Fan of the Game. Chad has been a Blue Jay fan for many years and has been representing the team with his many jerseys and hats. If you would like to be selected as the Blackberry Tweeting Tuesday Fan of the Game, send us a picture and tell us why you should be selected. More information at bluejays.com/fan of the game. Blue Jays got some work to do. They trail by 5 as they hit here in the second. Lind, Encarnacion, and Thames. Adam Lind is 0 for his last 8. Blue Jays figured to have a pretty consistent offense this year and possibly even more productive than it was a year ago with the additions in the lineup. Kelly Johnson for a full season, Brett Laurie for a full season, Colby Erasmus for a full season. But so far, it hasn't been the case.
Better balance, better dynamics with this team. And I think everybody, they just haven't been able to put it together. Where you've got 3 or 4, even 5 hitters that are hot at one time. And you see line drive after line drive after line drive. They just haven't been able to put that together yet. Certainly have the capabilities of that.
Well, they were 5th in the American League in runs scored. Edwin Encarnacion and Eric Thames, and you could include Brett Laurie in that, have had good starts to their season. This ball is popped in the air into shallow right center. The right fielder, Nelson Cruz, takes charge and makes the catch. Edwin Encarnacion has a 6-game hit streak alive, but his last 4 games he's gone deep.
Yeah, that's what everybody is talking about. His ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark to dead center field, then to right field. How about a whole one of those pitches? The opposition has tried to pitch inside, knock him off the plate, and that hasn't worked. He is just very comfortable at the plate right now, seeing everything and hitting it hard.
96-mile-an-hour fastball with ease from Feliz.
Easy fastball. Edwin now the 3rd player to hit at least 4 home runs more than once.
Fouls that ball back
For the Blue Jays.
Edwin was named the Blue Jays Honda Player of the Month. He was awarded that by the Toronto chapter of the Baseball Writers Association. He hit .322 with 8 homers and 21 RBI for the month of April. Up and away. It's 2-2.
A stat that I looked at with Edwin, 4 stolen bases in the month of April. 4 for 5. And really, the one time he got thrown out on a replay, he looked safe.
Breaking ball, he fights it off. Overall, Edwin started this in spring training, as Pat mentioned. You could probably even go back to the All-Star break a year ago when he had a great second half, but he ranks 13th in average for the month of April, tied 5th in doubles. His 8 homers, as we mentioned, tied for 2nd in the American League. Well, he had a good spring, and you can see that he is really confident at the plate. Full count. Sharply hit through the left side. Base hit for Edwin Encarnacion. Edwin now up to 330 with the batting average.
Well, again, pitchers trying to go inside on Encarnacion, move him off the plate. This was Steve Delabar right on the left tricep the other day, and then Yu Darvish the same way. Encarnacion just shrugged it off and hit a home run later in the game against Darvish, and starting with a single here tonight. He had a streak of 9 straight at bats reaching base.
Eric Thames. Thames had a good month. He had 308 for the month of April. Blue Jays can't try to make up the 5 runs in 1 inning. Just try to bunch some hits together. How much different is it facing Feliz than it was facing Darvish last night for these Blue Jay hitters?
Well, early on, it looks like Feliz fastball's got a little bit more tail and run to it. Sinking fastball. Darvish, his fastball at times looks straighter. You don't have to worry about the split finger because Feliz doesn't throw it. But he is a different pitcher than the one we saw coming out of the bullpen. You could knock off a couple pitches now. It's more curveball, and he's got a good curveball and a good changeup, and he's thrown it more this year.
Off the plate inside. As Pat mentioned earlier, Feliz will turn 24 years old tomorrow. He started out in the Atlanta Braves system, and that's kind of a story that really built the foundation of this Rangers ball club. Eric Thames hits it to third. Gonzalez to second for 1. Kinsler quickly to first. That's the second double play the Rangers have turned tonight. And that will end the inning. Feliz gets out of the second. Double play helps him out. Texas leads it 5-0. Enjoying those big comfy green chairs in the TD Comfort Zone are folks from the Ontario Medical Association, the TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TD. Welcome to Rogers Center, and you couldn't have a better seat in the house than those seats in the TD Comfort Zone. Drew Hutcherson had a rough second inning. Rangers sent 9 men to the plate, and they scored 5 runs. Nelson Cruz struck out to start the second. And that's when the roof caved in on Drew Hutcherson.
So what does he have to do now in this inning? I think really still use your fastball. John Farrell has talked about him using his 4-seam fastball, but I think he's got to go in a little bit more.
Bouncing ball. Laurie backs up, rights himself, throws a strike to retired Cruz. Laurie was deep at third base and got a lot on that throw all the way across the diamond.
Cruz isn't going to lay down a bunt, so you give it to him, you play deep. Yeah, the thing about Brett Laurie to his left, he is so quick. He moves well to left or right, sets himself, he's got the time and enough arm to get it over there to get the out.
David Murphy singled and scored in the second. Murphy came to the Rangers in a deal that sent Eric Gagne to Boston. He's now in his 6th year with the Rangers. (3-0). Hutcherson started just pounding the strike zone, and that led to 4 straight strikeouts, and since then he's pitched from behind. There's a strike.
Well, you can't pitch away from the strike zone. I think you've got to go right after them. If they get hits, they get hits, but you're doing your job and you're doing your thing when you're pounding it in there.
Sharply hit, but Escobar is there to make the grab. 2 outs.
You know, you're not doing yourself a favor by walking batters. I think you got to go out there. You still have to keep your game plan, and that is just attack mode.
David Price and James Shields of the Tampa Bay Rays beat the Rangers as Tampa Bay took a series against the Rangers for the first time this season. That was the first series the Rangers had lost. And I mentioned that because of the way they pitched. Price and Shields both have decent changeup. Shields has an exceptional changeup, and Price's changeup's getting better all the time, but it seemed as though that changeup was effective.
Well, you read the transcripts, if you will, of that game, and Price threw a lot more changeups that we have seen in the past. Another pitcher who beat him, Justin Verlander, he's got an outstanding changeup. He's known more for his good fastball and good overhand curveball, but he used his changeup versus them in that game. So that might be a thing where Hutcherson can use in the right spot.
Mathis knows Mike Napoli very well, as they were both teammates with the Angels. And you wonder who has the advantage here as to a pitch pattern.
They're both pretty smart being catchers.
Foul back. Oftentimes you can outsmart yourself. Well, I know he knows me, and he knows I like a fastball, so maybe I'm going to think about a breaking ball, but he knows I might be thinking.
He knows I'm thinking about this, and he might be thinking of what I. And the next thing you know, it's a fastball right down the middle. You can't pull the trigger.
2-2. Missed down and away. Napoli's now 30 years old. Had a great season a year ago with Texas, his first year with the Rangers. Hit .320 with 30 homers and 75 RBI. Previous high in home runs was 26. That was in 10. He takes a walk for a second time. This time it comes with 2 outs. This is probably the biggest transition for a young pitcher coming to the big leagues. Those borderline pitches that are good pitches and get a lot of outs in the minor leagues. Up here, they spit on them.
That's a great point. You see a lot of AA, A-ball free swingers swinging at that pitch, like the one we just saw from Hutcherson, that last pitch to Napoli. It's not to say it was a bad pitch. It's just that big league hitters just don't offer at them, and they make you come in that strike zone.
Well, big league hitters have had enough offers. They understand you can't hit borderline pitches. So you get those borderline pitches and lay off until you get 2 strikes. Down in the minors, they think they can hit everything.
Yeah. And they swing at everything, too, especially in the low minors. But you're right. Those might be outs in AA.
Another factor that will impact the pitcher's learning curve, the umpires. They're learning just like pitchers, and they'll have inconsistent strike zones. They'll call breaking balls that don't get called up here. So there are challenges. You have to make adjustments to big league hitters and big league umpires. Ball and a strike.
You know, here's another one where you're in the minor leagues. You might see 2, maybe 3 big leaguers in your lineup. You can get down to the bottom of the lineup, and the guys who've been around for a little bit or really aren't prospects. But up here, can't do that. I mean, you've got to go hard through that whole 9 in the batting order.
Driven toward left, aim initially backed up. Comes back in and makes the catch. The side is retired. Rangers leave 1 on base. The Blue Jays, bottom 3rd of the order. Brett Lawrie, Colby Erasmus, and Jeff Mathis to lead things off. On the 31st of July of 2007, they had Mark Teixeira, who was going to be a free agent at the end of the season. He was also represented by Scott Boras. So they decided, we're not going to sign him. Let's see what we can get for them. How about this trade? Texas gets from Atlanta a starting shortstop in Elvis Andrews, a closer turned starter in Neftali Feliz, a left-handed starter in Matt Harrison, who won 16 games a year ago, and a switch-hitting catcher in Jared Soltolomacchio. They loaded up the truck and came home with a home run.
That'll turn your organization around. That one trade where you get rid of a big leaguer.
Brett Lawrie flies to center field. That's the first out of the 30.
You get rid of a big league name player and you get a bunch of minor leaguers, and everybody in Texas was going crazy. How can you get rid of Mark Teixeira? Well, just wait a couple of years until you see some of these minor leaguers Andrews is an all-star at shortstop, hasn't made an error yet this year. Feliz out of the bullpen last year was outstanding. In his career, he was outstanding. 90% of the time he came out, he would save the game for him. And it's a bold move putting him in the starting rotation, I think.
They got big arms all over the place. They have another guy down in their bullpen that could start. Alexi Ogando. He has started, did start for them last year, and now he's back in the pen as they flip-flop Ogando and Feliz.
Yeah, we asked Ron Washington about that yesterday. Why Feliz in the starting rotation? And he said, we've always viewed Neftali Feliz as a starter. Ever since we got him from the Atlanta Braves, that we viewed him as a starter. But there was a need last year, in the last couple of years, at the back end of our bullpen. And he was the guy that we're going to develop and we're going to use him as a closer, but always with the idea of moving him into the starting rotation.
Feliz was the everyday closer for the ball club the last 2 seasons. All he did was save 72 games. And then he threw in 7 postseason saves for good measure. All of this before he turns 24. The architect of that great deal, John Daniels, was the general manager. A.J. Preller was the senior director of player personnel, and Don Welke, with former Blue Jay ties, was a special assistant to the GM. There's John Daniels, who's in town with the ball club. But you talk about a blockbuster trade that took care of 3 key areas. Closer initially, started with Harrison, and the shortstop with Andrews. For a player you knew you weren't going to sign.
And a catcher. You know, an everyday catcher that you flipped over to Boston. You know, the 3 most important positions on the baseball diamond.
Well, and where they really deserve to be patted on the back is that Feliz and Andrews were an A-ball. It's not like that they were household names, but they have both since become all-stars.
That's like having a scout who can see and have an idea. And you look at these ball clubs, where are they going to be in a couple of years? And the Texas Rangers did a good job that way.
Not unlike what the Blue Jays did when they had to trade Roy Halladay, Kyle Drabek, Travis d'Ormeau, and in a roundabout way, Anthony Gose.
Blue Jays are hoping that works out for them the way it's worked out for the Rangers.
Jeff Mathis done a nice job. Hitting .313. He's hit a pair of home runs. Hit a home run in his last start. Good grip at that pitch. Talking about the Halladay trade, let's take a look at this Blue Jays farm report. One of those players that came to Toronto in the Halladay deal, Travis d'Ormeau, catcher at Las Vegas, a 10-game hit streak, hitting nearly 400 with an OPS over 1.0.
AAA a little bit different than AA. Those pitchers down in AAA, they're smart. A lot of them have been in the big leagues and they've been in the minors for a long time. They don't just keep pumping fastballs at you like they do in AA. They really start to get the art of pitching down when you get to AAA. So it's good to see Travis d'Ormeau understanding what they're trying to do to him.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Jeff Mathis. Mathis hit that home run on Sunday, a 2-run home run. Full count.
Feliz fighting himself right now. He was ahead of Colby Rasmus and lost him. Ended up walking him. He was ahead of Jeff Mathis, and now he's a pitch away from losing him.
There goes Rasmus. Ball is popped back behind home plate.
That's one part of the Blue Jays offense that has been missing since Kansas City. Starting the runner at first base, the running game, double steals, straight steals, hit and run. They just haven't had the opportunities to get that guy in motion over at first base.
Another full count pitch. Rasmus on the move, outside. With 2 on and 1 out, let's check in with Jamie Campbell. That has been a familiar theme for the New York Yankees. Starting pitching has been inconsistent, and with that, Andy Pettitte pronounced himself ready to come back with the Yankees. He got beat up pretty good in his last rehab start.
In Double-A, that's where he was? Double-A? Oh, he must be. Can't wait to get up there.
I'm sure the Yankees would like to have him. 1 out. Back to the top of the order. Escobar had a single to right his first time up. There go the base runners. Back to the pitcher, Felice. He knocks it down, and Escobar is retired. And there's that aspect you were talking about. John Farrell put the runners in motion, and it's something we have not been able to generate. The team just hasn't had the opportunities, but right there they went on the first pitch.
You know what you can't do? You just can't sit back and just hope for things to work. You've got to make something happen. Felice sticks his glove out there, knocks it down, and gets the out at first base, or that's an RBI single for Escobar. Nobody wants to sit back and just take it. You know, they jumped out 5 runs, and you're sitting there hoping for a big base hit. You got to make something happen.
Kelly Johnson. First pitch swinging high and deep to left field. Gentry on the run at the wall. Home run, Kelly Johnson.
Johnson's got some power the other way. We have seen that from him already this season. Not wasting any time, fastball away, and he drives it to left field. Watch where this ball lands on top of the wall. Gentry, full extension, and crushes himself into that wall. He was not going to be denied. Ball bounces off the top of the wall. 3 quick runs come across for the Blue Jays, and they're back in it.
Boy, Gentry, what an effort. He ran into that fence full speed, and remember, they're a little beat up. Josh Hamilton has got a bad back. Gentry is filling in for Hamilton.
He was not going to be denied on that. He broke as soon as it was hit by Johnson, and he took off. And if it stayed into the ballpark, he was going to get his glove on it. There's no denying him on that one, but just ran out of room.
Terrific effort from Gentry, but how about Kelly Johnson? A couple of walks and 1 swing of the bat, and it's a ball game.
That wall is hard when you run into it like that. But you're right, a couple of walks to the 8 and 9 batters. Good patience by Rasmus and Mathis. Set the tables for Kelly Johnson.
Home run number 5 for Kelly Johnson. He's now driven in 11. Jose Bautista takes a first pitch strike on a breaking ball. Bautista has just left the building.
Back-to-back home runs for the Blue Jays, and that's a no doubt about it from Jose Bautista. Felice struck him out with a breaking ball his first time up, and he tries to fool him again, but it's not happening. Watch how he stays back on that back leg and uncorks that bat. No chance for that one coming back.
Number 4 for Bautista. No doubter. Boy, oh boy, I don't care who you are or who you're playing. You get this kind of shot in the arm when you're trailing, and you are right back in the ballgame.
Victor, that one lands, and that just fires up everybody.
And how many times have we talked about the bottom third of the order? You get one out, then you get back-to-back walks. That encourages the offense. Okay, now we're top of the order. Now we can do some damage. And sure enough, they did.
Get a couple of hits, and it's going to be a couple of runs. Feliz did it to himself. He was ahead of Colby Rasmus and lost him. And he was ahead of Jeff Mathis and lost him. Good patience at the plate by both of those hitters to set the table for Johnson and Bautista.
Feliz had held opponents just 13 hits in 21 innings coming into this game. The opponent's batting average was 176. Blue Jays have 2 home runs and 2 singles, and they're just into the third inning. Off-speed pitch. Lynn strikes out, but the Blue Jays are right back in the ballgame. When we come back, John Farrell will join us from the dugout. Isn't it, I mean, you've seen this from a pitching coach's perspective. Those bottom of the order walks, they'll come around to kill you. But how about Kelly Johnson and Bautista getting back to their stroke again?
Yeah, it's just really good to see both guys make not only solid contact, but get the ball in the air and create some lift. And particularly with Jose. I mean, we've all followed it here in the last 10 days and the inconsistencies that have been there. But maybe more than anything, just allow him to breathe a little bit and take some weight off his shoulders.
Drew Hutcherson got off to a great start tonight and then ran into some trouble in the second inning. What does he have to do from here on out?
You know what, Tabby? It's clear the right-handers are staying inside the ball pretty well. They're driving some balls the opposite way. He'll need to run some balls in on some right-handers, whether it's four-seamer or two-seamer. And if he misses in, whether he moves their feet or not, hopefully it opens up the outside part of the plate for him.
John, thanks for your time.
Okay, guys.
John Farrell from the dugout giving us his thoughts about what Drew Hutcherson needs. This might be the most important half inning of the ball game after the Blue Jays put up 4 in the bottom of the third.
Come right after him. That's what he's got to do. You got 8-9-1 coming up here in the fourth inning. Just go right after him. And I love what he said about moving their feet and pitching inside to the right-handers.
There's another base hit. He stayed inside that pitch and singles into right. He's 2 for 2.
That's a classic inside-out swing right there. The hands go forward, barrel of the bat stays back, and you shoot it in the right field.
So Texas, they'll try to storm right back. Gentry's a threat to bunt in this situation. He can really bunt for base hits. He can also put down a sacrifice and see what Ron Washington has on his mind. Gonzalez has yet to attempt to steal. Rangers have a lot of options here. Gentry can bunt for a base hit. They can play hit and run. They, like the Blue Jays, want to turn that lineup over with a couple of runners aboard.
You can see a couple of pitches if you want. Now it's not really a stolen base guy.
Gentry bunts it. Hutcherson gets to it. Thinks about second, and it's off the glove of Escobar. Kobe Erasmus comes up throwing. Here's a throw to third, and it hits the base runner. Escobar, in an attempt to stretch and make the catch, had it go off his glove into center. It was going to be close at second. I'm not sure they had a legitimate shot at Gonzalez in the first place.
When he first bunted it, I thought that they had a shot at second base. Hutcherson gathers himself over the ball and makes the throw, and it sails on him. Nothing Escobar can do on that one because the ball sailed into the runner. They are playing for one run. Gonzalez goes hard right into the bag. And the ball heads up into center field. First and third now, nobody out.
Escobar is charged with an error. It's a fielder's choice for Gentry, and there are runners at first and third now, nobody out, and back to the top of the order. Kinsler goes after the first pitch. Boy, that was a tough play. They bunted ball right back to the mound. Generally, you think you're going to get that lead runner, and looked like they had a shot. Ball sailed off the glove of Escobar. He picks up the air, his fourth of the season. This is a very opportunistic club, given a chance because of the air. Bounce towards second. Kelly Johnson will step on the bag and go to first and throws it wide of first base and out of play. So a couple of errors in this inning. It's an error on the second baseman. It's a fielder's choice to Kinsler, and there's the wild throw.
Better just to touch it with your right foot, keep your feet underneath you, and make a strong, accurate throw. When it gets away, will be an error, his fourth of the season. And instead of double play and a run scored, they get the run out at second base. Now just one out.
Kinsler picks up an RBI. He ends up at second base. Elvis Andrus has a hit, and he's also struck out. So the Rangers just keep coming. Bottom of the order. Alberto Gonzalez got it started. Two and 0. Where Kinsler bounced off second as if he were going to steal. They just don't sit back. They're constantly thinking about how they can take an extra 90 feet, get in position to score, get in position for a sac fly.
I think that's the only way that you can play this game. You just play it out all the time. They've got to give him a couple looks right there at second base.
It's 6-4 Texas. Kinsler jockeying off the bag at second base, and Hutcherson spins around and forces him back.
You know, it's not a bad idea. He has a club record for stolen bases of third. 28 times heading into this year that he has stole third base. He has been caught just twice stealing third.
Driven to right, Bautista on the run. Over the head catch. Kinsler was halfway. He'll have to stay put at second. Good job by Bautista. He turned around in full speed, reached over his shoulder, and made a catch running away from the infield.
Andrus is getting bigger and stronger, and he's starting to drive the ball to the outfield now. Bautista, you can see he was a little bit shallow, but recovers and makes a fine running catch on this ball by Andrus. Right over his shoulder, catches it, has the presence of mind to get the ball back into the infield so Kinsler can't tag up and go to third.
Michael Young. It's kind of 0 for 2 so far. Another ball to right. Bautista has plenty of room, and the Rangers are done in the 4th, but they add a run. Apple Auto Glass. You'll see we care. And tonight we're going to take a look at Edwin Encarnacion. He's 29 years old. He was born in La Romana, Dominican Republic. And Edwin Encarnacion was originally drafted by the Texas Rangers. He spent just over a year in the Rangers organization before he was traded to Cincinnati. But he was drafted. And that's unusual for a Dominican-born player.
He actually went to Puerto Rico. And Puerto Rican players are subject to the draft. He was drafted, I believe, in the 9th round by the Texas Rangers.
Went to high school in Puerto Rico and was drafted in 2000 by the Texas Rangers. He's got the count in his favor, 2-0. Blue Jays scored 4 runs off Neftali Feliz in the half of the 3rd. It's exactly what we have talked about throughout this hot streak with Encarnacion.
Well, when you're hitting everything, you're hitting everything. In that time, he's hitting the baseball, he's hitting catchers' face masks. He is not missing much.
When you're hot, you're hot. You hit everything you swing at. And he takes a walk. That'll start the 4th inning. So the Blue Jays going to lead off walk. It was 1-out walks that led to the 4-run 3rd inning. Rasmus and Mathis with back-to-back walks, and then 1 out later, back-to-back home runs. Eric Thames. Thames hit into an inning-ending double play in the 2nd. Chases that pitch up and away. That's the one pitch over the last half season last year and into this season that he's laid off of. When he first came up, he was chasing a lot of high fastballs.
And pitchers knew it too. They would throw it up there and Eric would swing at it. Then they'd throw it up and away to him and he'd swing at it. And then towards the latter halves of last year, he was laying off of it and really focusing down and concentrating on making those pitchers get the ball down.
Why is that pitch so intriguing to hitters?
Oh, it just looks so good when it comes up to the plate. It's like you feel like you can hit it 9 miles. But there's an art to hitting that high fastball. There's a few good high fastball hitters in the American League. But it's tough to catch up to it like that one right there. 95 and in.
Tough combination.
You see it so good, and you think you can hit the ball, but there's not a lot you can do with that pitch right there. He ties him up, has to bring his hands in, and he comes up empty.
Third strikeout for Felice. Brett Lawrie just 3 for his last 15. Cruz on the warning track, and Encarnacion will retreat as Cruz catches the ball, and Laurie's retired. The Hall of Famer and Canadian Fergie Jenkins is in the house. He played for the Texas Rangers. Played 6 years in Texas, won 93 games for the Rangers.
Still holds the record for most wins in a season by a Ranger.
It came in 1974. He won 25 games for Texas. 284 career wins for the great right-hander. A lot of people forget he started his big league career with the Philadelphia Phillies. Everybody associates him mostly with the Cubs. He spent 10 years in Chicago with the Cubs on those great teams with Ron Santo and Billy Williams and Ernie Banks.
Book it. 20 wins for Fergie. I played in a weekend fantasy camp with him, and we got to play against some of the campers. He could still pitch. He was out there. He got that same little wind-up that he had.
Colby Rasmus takes one inside. Fergie Jenkins won 20 games 7 times in his career. Hall of Famers all over tonight. Robbie Alomar.
He loves to come and just watch the game, doesn't he?
He's a great student of the game, and he loves to watch players. He likes to watch defensive players an awful lot. Interesting thing about Robbie, when he played, he never watched video of himself hitting, but he would watch video of himself fielding. Colby Rasmus, a ball and 2 strikes. Encarnacion there. Ball goes all the way back to the screen. Napoli got a good bounce and a strong throw. Oh, boy. Tough break for Encarnacion. He saw that ball sail past the catcher, but Mike Napoli got a perfect carom and throws out Encarnacion at second. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Staying on the theme of Hall of Famers, the Toronto Suns, Bob Elliott, they will be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year as the J.G. Taylor Smith Award winner for his baseball writing. Done a great job for a number of years, starting in Montreal, coming here as a beat writer, and he will go into a well-deserved place in the Hall of Fame.
Along with that man right there, Matt Gillick. Well, that was fun last year when you and I were in Texas watching the ceremonies, listening to Gillick and Blyleven and Alamar's speeches.
Bob Elliott will be equally emotional.
You think so?
I know he will. Nelson Cruz batting cleanup tonight. Drew Hutcherson had a bit of a hiccup in the second. He allowed 5 runs on 6 hits and then gave up a single run in the 4th. Texas leads by 2, 6-4. Good changeup from Hutcherson.
Not afraid to throw it against the right-handers. He's got good movement on it, good arm speed, good arm action on it. Follow that up, jammed now with a fastball inside.
Coming inside, got the pop-up. Rasmus coming in from center. Looked like he had trouble picking up the ball off the bat, but he finally picks it up. 1 out here in the 5th. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. 1 out, Daniel Murphy. The left fielder. Two and out. Hutcherson knows himself very well, and he knows his delivery, and when he is out of sync, he can pretty much make an adjustment on the fly. He's always been a command guy, never been a power guy that's just going to flat out overpower you.
You know, good athletes can do that. When they feel like they might be flying open a little bit too much, they might be spinning off of pitches. They have that ability to know themselves and get back into it. He's got a very simple delivery. Not a whole lot of movement.
As we mentioned, Hutcherson just 21 years old. There's a base hit into right. Murphy on a 3-1 count jumped on the high fastball.
Ball was up. He's looking for a fastball, and it's up and inside. And he yanks it to right field. A little bit different approach from Murphy than his first time up.
First pitch swinging the first time up, he went the opposite way, but with the 3-1 count, he turned on it. Mike Napoli has a pair of walks tonight. First pitch strike from Hutcherson. Drew Hutcherson, just to give you an idea of how early it is in his career, he's only pitched in 46 minor league games, a total of 234 2/3 innings, including this year.
That is nothing when it comes to developing pitchers. 200 and something innings.
234 2/3. That's one big league season. There are his minor league numbers. 18-9 in the ERA, 249. I mean, that's just overmatched people because of his command. And like we said earlier, a lot of those minor league hitters would chase borderline pitches.
Command.
Well, what a job by Mathis.
Knocking it down to keep that double play in order, but command and pitchability. And I think that's why Hutcherson is going to learn a lot here. How about Jeff Mathis? Use any part of your body to keep that ball in front of you.
Murphy saw that ball about 2 feet in front of home plate and thought, and rightly so, that he was going to be able to advance, but Mathis keeps him at first. It's a huge play with one out. Double play is still in order. Just missed the inside corner. Napoli's getting good looks at Hutcherson tonight.
He's not a free swinger. You mentioned the 30 home runs and the 75 RBIs last year. And some arguing balls and strikes going to cost someone.
Sam Holbrook has thrown somebody out of the game, and John Farrell is coming out. And Holbrook, there's been no indication whatsoever. And it appears as though John Farrell has been thrown out of the game. And there were no earlier suggestions that this was an ongoing thing.
Sam Holbrook feels like somebody on the bench was questioning balls and strikes, and if there is a question, you can throw him out.
Well, that's like he's throwing somebody else out on that dugout bench, because he waved somebody else off the bench. And now Farrell and now Joe West is going to come over and get involved. And it looks like Omar Vizquel. Just Vizquel has been thrown out. So Vizquel was singled out as the perpetrator on that bench, and he will pack up and head to the clubhouse. So Omar Vizquel has been thrown out of the game by Sam Holbrook, the home plate umpire. Three balls and a strike to Mike Napoli. David Murphy at first. One out. On the ground. Escobar at short. Second for one. Back to first. They couldn't hold on at first. I thought Lynn had dug it out. The throw was wide of first base. And Lynn has been so good at taking those throws in the dirt.
Yeah, for a second there, it looked like Adam Lynn came up with that ball on the throw from Kelly Johnson. Would have been a nice double play from Escobar as he goes to his right. Gives a good throw to Johnson. And then on the return throw, you see Lynn had it, and then when he hit the ground, it came out. Just snow-coned it enough that when he hit the ground, it came out.
Escobar, good play in the hole to get the ball to second for the force out. So Mitch Moreland, a dangerous left-handed hitter, will come to the plate with two outs. Goes after the first pitch. Moreland gets jammed and fights it out. Sam Holbrook, the home plate umpire, after this pitch, looks into the dugout, and then he looks back in again, says, okay, somebody over there is getting on me. And so I don't have to listen to that. And then, boom. And we found out later that it was Omar Vizquel. Very difficult to identify anybody from the bench because everybody's probably saying the same thing.
Yeah, everybody's saying something. And he was looking in there. I guess he had to see him talking to him to be able to throw him out emphatically like that.
Oh, 2, 2 outs. Rangers are ahead 6-4. We are in the fifth. Cut on and missed. Mathis goes to first for the strikeout, and the Rangers strand another base runner. They've left 4 so far. Drew Hutcherson, through 5 innings, still trails by 2. Sportsnet live coverage of the Blue Jays. Watch the live action all season long from your smartphone. Download the Rogers Live app from your app store. The ball game going back and forth here. It is Tweeting Tuesday here at Rogers Center. A lot of fans in attendance on Twitter talking to their friends about this back and forth ball game. Texas leads 6-4. That's where the Blue Jays got things going back in the third. Colby Erasmus with a one-out walk, followed by Jeff Mathis. He too walked, and then back-to-back home runs led to the 4-run inning. Neftali Feliz. There was a pitch on the inside corner, ball on the strike. One and two.
Changeup has been good for Feliz, but then when he tries to reach back for a little something extra, he's yanking balls out of the strike zone. So it looks like he's trying to slow everything down to get his pitches where he needs to.
That one got away from him.
Yeah, he's having trouble with his fastball, throwing it for strikes.
3 walks in the ball game. The 2 walks in the third both came around to score.
Changeup.
Good for him. Strikes out. Jeff Mathis will come to the plate. And Mathis, in his first year with the Blue Jays, has made some adjustments at the plate.
When he was with the Angels, that on the left, you can see he's closed up a little bit more and he's on top of the plate. What Dwayne Murphy has done with him, he's opened his front foot up so he can see the ball. Look at his head on the left, how it's kind of peering around his shoulder, where on the right he's got both of his eyes looking right at that pitcher, and that has freed him up. And his bat looks a lot quicker. He's got more power. And you watch him take batting practice with authority. He is swinging the bat this year. Dwayne Murphy doing a good job of finding that.
Mathis showing bunt, and Feliz misses. Jeff Mathis has 2 home runs in 16 at-bats this season. Last year with the Angels, he had 3 home runs in 247 at-bats.
You're never too old to learn. And I love that. He's opening up now, and that's freeing up his ability to see the ball. And then he closes that front side using his legs, still staying back, and then just unleashing on that baseball.
And he takes a 1-out walk. Mathis has walked twice. That's where Feliz had problems a couple of innings ago. Back to the top of the order. Escobar has a hit tonight.
Mike Maddox, pitching coach for the Texas Rangers, does a great job out to talk to his starter. And he probably sees the same thing we do, how he's really reaching back with his fastball and yanking it out of the strike zone.
You can see that was kind of a little stern encouragement. Say, hey, let's go. You got too good of stuff to be nibbling around the strike zone. Maddox in his 4th season as the pitching coach here with the Rangers. So back to the top of the order. See if the Blue Jays can't cut into this 2-run deficit. They're down 6-4. Downstairs. Texas won the opener 4-1 behind Yu Darvish. There's a strike. Darvish and Kyle Drabek really hooked up to quite a pitcher's duel going through 6 innings. Darvish went 7 innings, gave up 4 hits, walked 2, and struck out 9.
He made a believer out of us. You know, he looks like he's got some good stuff. Talked to some of the Blue Jay batters today, and I asked them what they thought of Darvish. They said his stuff is good. He's got some extra whip to his fastball, and then that slider and that splitter, they just couldn't tell the difference between the two pitches.
1-2 to Escobar. In the dirt. Texas bullpen loaded with good arms. That's the rookie Robbie Ross, the only left-hander in the Rangers bullpen. Two and two. Bounced on the ground. Andrews Kinsler in the dirt, scooped by Moreland. Inning-ending double play off the bat of Yunel Escobar. On Twitter, Joey Bats, Ricky Rowe. They all have a lot to say. Check them out. Also, don't forget to follow at Blue Jays. That's the twitter.com for all the latest from the Blue Jays. And you can follow the Blue Jay players on their own Twitter accounts. And you can also follow your favorite player with a t-shirt. At B. Laurie, J. Pierre Sevier, Jose Bautista, Tabby Cat, bases loaded. Yeah. Where's that one?
It's like putting your telephone number on your shirt, isn't it? Contact me at, right?
Driven down the right side and slicing into the seats. Alberto Gonzalez has had a good night. He got the start at third base. Last night it was Michael Young at third. Adrian Beltre is dealing with a sore hamstring, so Gonzalez gets the call. And the Rangers are loaded. He just contributes 2 hits, drives in a run, scores another.
Turns double play, playing third base. Get involved in one of those tonight.
Drew Hutcherson working here in the 6th. Bounced in the dirt. Carlos Villanueva starts to loosen up in the Blue Jays bullpen. The Blue Jays starting pitcher streak continues. 5 or more innings, 26 straight games now. Bounce to short. Escobar on the money.
Blue Jays have been pretty consistent with their young starters through the first month of the season. Right around that 100-pitch plateau, they start getting somebody warmed up. And when you've got young pitchers like Henderson Alvarez and Drew Hutcherson and Kyle Drabek, you have to watch and monitor them early in the season. I think it's a good idea You know, you can let him go over 100 pitches, but 120, 130, I don't think is a good idea.
Craig Gentry, I think as the summer goes on, John will be a little more liberal with his pitchers, but he obviously knows pitchers very well. Believes that you really rein them in early in the season and let them build up their strength and stamina.
And being so young, I think it's a good idea to do that. These guys just aren't used to playing 162 games and making 32 starts.
Pulled on the ground to the shortstop. Escobar reached back for a little extra to gun down Gentry. 2 outs. We had mentioned this is the 289th consecutive game started by a Blue Jays starter under 30 years old. The last time a starter was over 30, it was Brian Talent, May 30th of 2009 against the Red Sox. He was 32. So that bodes very well. You'll remember we said that for years about the Tampa Bay Rays, and look how they've done. Get a starting staff that grows together. Not just because they're good guys, but because they can pitch.
Because they're good. And they compete with each other. They become a unit.
Off-speed pitch. Waved at by Kinsler.
And a good group, and they can learn together. They sit next to each other every day. Those starters sit together down at the end of that bench, and they talk, discuss, talk about the game. What would you do here? And there is something to be said for that.
Kinsler, a little fly ball into center. Rasmus is there, and the Rangers are retired in the 6th. A 3 up, 3 down, 6th inning. Drew Hutcherson will get a handshake from his pitching coach, and he's not really pleased that he's coming out of the ball game. But he's up at 100 pitches. And after that second inning, he threw 33 pitches in the second inning, but after that 5-run second inning, he allowed just 2 hits in the next 4 innings.
How about that? 5 strikeouts. He started by striking out the first 4 batters he faced, then had a long second inning, but then started getting it together. That's a season high, career high. 5 strikeouts, a couple of walks.
So the meat of the order is up. Kelly Johnson hit his 5th home run, a 3-run shot in his last at bat. Off the plate. There's the leader of the rotation, Ricky Romero, breaking down Drew Hutcherson's start, and he did a good job. He never panicked, even though he gave up 5 runs on 6 hits in the second. He kept his team in the ballgame.
And he made some adjustments, started pitching inside a little bit more, using his changeup.
There's a leadoff walk. That starts the 6th. Jose Bautista got a rough start to his night with this strikeout in the first.
2 strikes. Here comes the breaking ball. The timing is all messed up. He's out in front. But then the next time up in the 3rd inning, he tries to double up with a breaking ball. This time, Jose stays back. On that back leg, you see it again. Rifles through that pitch as he hits his 4th home run of the season. That's what people came to see.
Feliz is struggling with his command. 5 walks. Way outside.
Right now, he is just trying to aim the ball and get it into the strike zone.
One way or another, this is going to be his last batter. Left-hander on deck is Adam Lynn. Ron Washington has Robbie Ross, the left-hander, ready.
Usually you see Ron Washington sitting on that bench. He is up and ready to move right now.
Two and 0. Green light. You would think.
Yeah, tying run at the plate. He homered his last time up.
Back-to-back walks here in the 6th. That'll bring the tying run to the plate. Adam Lynn. Lynn has 15 career home runs against the Rangers. Remember, the Rangers only have 1 left-hander.
Yeah, so Ron Washington, the manager of the Rangers, has to figure out what he wants to do. It looks like he's sent his catcher out there to buy a little bit more time to make sure the lefty is loose and help him make decisions. You also got the hottest hitter on the team behind him, Adam Lynn and Encarnacion. So he might be thinking about that also.
It's a great point. You got Feliz in the game. If you burn your only left-hander, it's just going to be for 1 batter.
In the 6th inning?
And that's what he's going to do. Here comes Washington. And there's the call for Robbie Ross, the left-hander. So back-to-back walks led to the undoing for Neftali Feliz. Washington will roll the dice and use his only left-hander here in the 6th. Feliz walked 5 and walked 6 and gave up 2 home runs, and he leaves with 2 on. Robbie Ross his control. His last 21 pitches, only 15 of those were for strikes.
Helped out by the double play. 3 times they've gotten double plays after walks. So Robbie Ross will come into the ballgame now. Check out that record, 4-0 in 7 games. He's a rookie. First year, he's got a good arm. Fastball, he'll cut his fastball a little bit. Power slider, he can pitch up and down in the strike zone. Lefty's hitting just 167 against him. And he's not just a one-batter type of left-hander. He can get righties out also. You saw those numbers there. So being the only left-hander in the bullpen for the Texas Rangers, I don't think they're just going to have him out there for that one batter.
Adam Lynn, nobody out. Outside. Ross has retired 15 straight batters over his last 3 appearances. There's a strike, the ball and a strike. Lurking in the on-deck circle, Edwin Encarnacion. Cut on and missed. Ross is the first pitcher since 1918 to earn 4 relief wins in his first 6 career appearances.
Kind of a good luck charm, I guess, for Texas. He comes in tight situations and throws breaking balls to lefties.
Misses with that breaking ball. Ross is 22 years old. It's been a battle for Adam Lynn against lefties. On the ground. Andrews, second for 1. Kinsler back to first. Double play. 4th double play the Blue Jays have bounced into tonight, and that's a big one.
Yeah, they are good in the middle of the diamond. They came into this game with 17 double plays turned, but 4 of them, they've been huge. The go-ahead run at the plate when Lind is up in a double play now, and Encarnacion hits. And if he goes deep, he can only tie it.
Now, Ron Washington has sent Mike Maddox to the mound, and obviously this is going to be that old message, hey, this guy means nothing. But if that's the case, why don't you just put him on? Don't even flirt with him. They've got a left-hander on deck. Ross has now retired the last 16 batters he's faced over a span of 4 appearances.
We were talking to Ron Washington about him. That's Alexi Ogando who was up. He just got up when Lynn was hitting, so he is not ready. We talked to Washington yesterday about Ross. He said, boy, in spring training, he just kept getting guys out, and they'd have meetings, and then they go, what about keeping him? And they felt that he could handle the big leagues a little bit better than some of the left-handers they also had in camp, that if he had some problems, he can handle it.
All right, they're coming after him. First pitch cut fastball on the inside corner. Kelly Johnson's at third. Would you do this?
Oof. You know what? I think it says a lot about his pitcher, his defense. Encarnacion yanks this ball and almost hits Johnson at third base. That's why you take your lead in foul territory.
0-2, 2 outs. Just missed. It speaks volumes about Washington's confidence in his rookie, Robbie Ross.
And his offense. And if he goes deep, he thinks he's confident he can get him out. Maybe he's gambling that sooner or later Edwin's going to not get on base. He's reached base 10 out of the last 11 at-bats.
2-2, 2 outs. Encarnacion, one thing through this hot stretch, he hasn't chased pitches.
No. He has stayed back there. He has seen the ball so well out of the pitcher's hand.
Broken bat. Andrews high at first. Moreland keeps his foot on the bag, and a rookie, Robbie Ross, has now retired the last 17 batters he's faced. Game. Minnesota will be at the Angels. That'll be on Sportsnet West. And then still more baseball to come. The Miami Marlins will be at the San Francisco Giants. That'll be on Sportsnet Pacific. Lots of baseball action right here on Sportsnet. The Giants currently 3.5 back of the red-hot LA Dodgers. And the Miami Marlins, where they haven't had the start they expected. They are just 8-14.
When does the panic button get pushed in Miami?
When Ozzie said that thing he said earlier.
I think you might be
that
right.
was the beginning of pushing the panic button for sure. Elvis Andrews jumps on the first pitch from Carlos Villanueva and rips it into center. Andrews' second hit of the night. The Rangers now have 8 hits.
Why not? New pitcher into the ball game. Carlos Villanueva tries to get ahead of Andrews, and he hits that first pitch right back through the middle. Why wait around?
Villanueva last worked on Saturday. Came in to pitch the 9th inning, walked the batter, struck out a batter.
Here are the numbers for Villanueva. Just his 7th game of the season. His ERA is a little inflated from that one bad outing that he had, but he's on the whole done a good job. Batters hitting just 172 against him this season. Lefties even better, just 150 against Carlos.
He's in a tough spot with this starting rotation going deep into the ball games. Drew Hutcherson goes 6 tonight. That's the 26th straight time a Blue Jays starter has pitched 5 or more innings. With that, the long man doesn't get much work. Looks like Andrews is thinking about running. Getting a little edgy over there at first.
37 for 49 last year, 75.5% for Andrews at first base. Already 5 for 6 this year.
Michael Young in the hole, 0-1. On the ground, Kelly Johnson to Escobar for one, back to first, double play. 2 down here, top of the 7th. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Boy, the AL East is a topsy-turvy division. Tampa Bay got some bad news with the loss of their third baseman, Evan Longoria. We already heard about the woes of Phil Hughes tonight with the Yankees. Freddie Garcia has been moved to the bullpen. And Baltimore, I think sooner or later, their defense is going to catch up with them.
Yeah, they're a little shaky defensively. They just don't have the strikeout type of pitchers that if you give them extra base runners, it's going to catch up to you. Tampa, I think, is a good team. We haven't seen the Yankees. Tampa's starting and relieving pitching has been great.
Ball and a strike to Nelson Cruz outside. Tampa Bay has so many interchangeable parts. Obviously, you can't replace Evan Longoria for his overall play, but they can use Sean Rodriguez to play third, Brignac at short, Zobrist at second. Joyce plays every day in the outfield. They've got some options. High fly ball. Bautista calls for it. Villanueva has a 1-2-3-7. Blue Jays are only down by 2. For the series finale, Ricky Romero will be on the mound. He is trying to improve to 4-0 this season. He will be opposed by another left-hander, not Harrison. Both these left-handers are off to good starts. Harrison has a 3-1 record. So a matchup of left-handers tomorrow. Remember the start time, 12:37 p.m. here. Afternoon game to wrap up this homestand.
And then it's out on the road, heading out to California. The Jays' first look at the Angels.
Eric Thames breaks his bat. Andrews bobbles the ball. Elvis Andrews has been so good. That is his first error of the season on a routine ball. And this has been a concern. He could make spectacular plays, but then the routine ball, he loses his focus.
Yep. Backhand right here, and in the transfer, he just drops it for his first error. He has been playing so well, according to the Ranger people when we were talking to him. Making all the plays, like we said, his first of the season.
Blue Jays have had plenty of opportunities. They've taken 6 walks, but they haven't stranded a base runner. 4 double plays turned by the Rangers. They stranded a runner in the 6th. Kelly Johnson was left on board in the 6th.
Made it to 3rd.
Yep, the 4 double plays erased the impact of those 6 walks.
That's exactly right. You get those type of walks and you think you can add something to it, but they haven't been able to string it together. Neil Diamond has been very good for the Rangers.
It's only their 9th error of the season. Everything Ross throws moves.
Can't throw a ball straight. Diving in on the right-handers, going away from the left-handers. A free and easy delivery.
Or he gets a piece of it. Wrong look down at first. Blue Jays have managed just 4 hits. On the ground through the left side, base hit for Brett Laurie. Again, the Blue Jays have something going.
That was a determined at bat by Brett Laurie. Got ahead 2-0 and 2 aggressive swings. Got the count even again, and then this time a very determined at bat by Laurie to get the first 2 batters on base here in the 7th inning.
Only the 5th hit for the Jays, but now there are 2 on, nobody out.
Corners are in now for Texas. They are expecting a bunt from Colby Rasmus.
Rasmus squares and bunts it out in front of home. Napoli bobbles the ball. Rasmus is safe.
How many times have we said it? When the opposition is giving up themselves on a bunt attempt, you've got to get an out somewhere.
It is ruled a base hit for Colby Rasmus. Puts the bunt down right in front of home plate, and when Napoli reached for it, he couldn't find the handle, and Rasmus hustled down the line. No chance for Napoli to recover.
I think he was trying to go to third base to get that lead runner and just overran the baseball.
So that'll knock Robbie Ross out of the ball game. Bases are loaded, nobody out. Great chance for the Jays. Alexio Gando in the game. Inning plus 2 batters. Gave up 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 6 walks in the game, just 4 strikeouts. He was helped out by 3 double plays when he was in the ball game. Then Robbie Ross came in and was able to erase the 2 walks issued by Felice to start the 6th. And now Ross is looking for some help from his bullpen mate, Alexio Gando.
Might be the most valuable pitcher so far for the Texas Rangers. What he has done coming out of the bullpen. He was a starter last year for Texas, and now he's a setup man. And Ron Washington can use him in various innings in various ways. He's a multiple inning guy, and he throws hard. Lots of strikeouts. He gave up a hit back on April the 13th at Minnesota, and that was the last hit he's given up.
Bases are loaded. Thames reached on in the air. Lowry had a single, and Rasmus a bunt single. Jeff Mathis the batter. Breaking ball for a strike. You might be wondering, what about a pinch hitter? Well, the logical choice for being a pinch hitter here against the right-hander would be Omar Vizquel, but he was ejected from this ball game.
So they have no lefties on the bench.
Outside, 1-1. Jeff Mathis had a pair of home runs this season. He also has one career grand slam. Right now, he'd take a flare to right.
Yeah, anything, get it into the outfield. Get a couple of runs in.
Good hack at a high fastball.
Plenty of speed on the bases for the Blue Jays.
Blue Jays were down 5-0 after an inning and a half. On the ground. Second for one. Not in time. A run comes in. It's a one-run game. Eric Thames scores. Mathis picks up an RBI.
Jeff Mathis can run. Well, he told you he's a very good athlete. And what looked like a double play grounder, he's going to beat it out. Play by Gonzalez to go around the infield from third to second and then the first. But look at Mathis. It's an RBI by beating this out.
So back to the top of the order. It's a 6-5 Rangers lead. First and third, one out. Great speed at third base. Got to be thinking about getting a ball that you can drive to the outfield at a minimum. The Rangers already tonight have turned 4 double plays. There's a safety squeeze, and Escobar takes a strike.
We're seeing more teams use this safety squeeze, first and third. Just want to get the ball down, preferably to the first baseman.
There's a big gap in second base. If you bunt it past the pitcher toward Ian Kinsley, you're going to get a run. You'll tie the game up. And it doesn't have to be a suicide squeeze. 0-1, one out. Now they're anticipating a play.
You know, in the worst case, you get a run in to tie it. You get another runner to second base in scoring position for Kelly Johnson. That's if you get that ball down on the ground.
There goes Mathis. The ball is on the ground. Lowry's going to come in and tie it. They put the runner in motion, eliminated the chance for a double play, and the Blue Jays have come all the way back from 5 runs down to tie it at 6-6.
And that's what was missing from the Jays offensively, especially in Baltimore. They only have one chance to get a runner in motion. Then when you do that, you put the defense on their heels. They've got to make plays, and the Jays have tied it, being very aggressive on the bases.
Mathis gets an RBI on the fielder's choice. Escobar gets an RBI on the ground out to short. 2 runs here in the bottom of the 7th. Base hit to center field. Mathis got a good break. He's around third. There'll be no throw. The Blue Jays have taken the lead.
By starting the runner at first base, Jeff Mathis, they stay out of the double play. They get a guy in scoring position. For a batter, Kelly Johnson, who's been hot, doesn't try and do too much with it. Lines it into center field. Gentry comes up to try and make the play. Bobbles it, and I don't think he would have had a play at the plate. As Mathis with 2 out is running on anything. Good secondary lead by Mathis. He scores a tiebreaker.
7-6 Blue Jays. Bautista with a big cut. Kelly Johnson has driven in 4 tonight.
He wasn't thinking about a soft single to right field with that swing. He was trying to put 2 more runs on the board.
You can see the Blue Jays are very aware of that pitch. Bautista with a big cut, and then this follows. These two have exchanged hit batters in last night's game. Kelly Johnson in scoring position on the wild pitch.
Big swing and another big swing. 97 miles an hour from Ogando.
1-2, 2 outs. Outside. Blue Jays with 4 in the 3rd and 3 here in the 7th. They lead by 1. Right field, Cruz back, but he's got room and makes the catch. But the Blue Jays scored 3 runs. Kelly Johnson with a big night at the plate. The Blue Jays started the base runners, and it led to the 3-run inning. Jose Bautista lined out to right field, and you could see his emotion. He really wanted to deliver with Kelly Johnson at second base after being knocked down by Alexi Ogando. Kelly Johnson, a home run, a 3-run shot in the 3rd, an RBI single in the 7th. He's had a 4 RBI night. Carlos Villanueva in his 2nd inning of relief. Murphy, Napoli, Moreland, the scheduled batters. Pulled on the ground. Johnson deep at 2nd. Murphy's retired, 1 down.
We were talking earlier tonight about Shields and Price using changeups in Tampa Bay versus Texas, down in Texas. Villanueva's got a great changeup, and this might be a good matchup for him.
Mike Napoli has walked twice. He's also been retired on the fielder's choice. He is 0 for 5 for the series. Villanueva has a wide assortment of off-speed pitches. You throw a slow curveball, changeup, sink the ball, add and subtract on his fastball.
Move it in and out, up and down. Throw a curveball a little bit harder than the last one. Might be a good combination for him. Because he's unpredictable. That's the thing with that many pitches. And you're looking at a couple of times out to the mound. Maybe one time through the lineup. Could be a good thing.
At this point of the ball game, that's probably all you want from Villanueva. We're in the 8th inning. Texas stormed out to a 5-0 lead. They scored 5 runs in the 2nd inning. Off-speed breaking ball waved at and missed. The Blue Jays answered with 4 of their own in the bottom of the 3rd. Back-to-back home runs by Kelly Johnson and Jose Bautista. Texas added a single run in the 4th, and then 3 more Blue Jay runs here in the 7th. Now we move to the 8th. Fastball. Kelly Johnson standing right there. 2 down. Mitch Moreland, scheduled batter. John Farrell has emerged from the Blue Jays dugout, and he's made the call for the left-hander. The former Ranger, Darren Oliver, will take over for Villanueva with 2 outs and nobody on. Pitch to Mitch Moreland, the left-hander. Oliver making his 9th appearance of the season. Oliver had pitched with the Rangers, and during this visit, Texas GM presented Darren Oliver with his American League Championship ring. He thought it was a nice gesture, but he also said he was never going to wear it.
Why not?
He called it a loser's ring.
Oh, that's right. I did see that.
He wants that World Series ring. So with 2 outs here in the 8th inning, Carlos Villanueva worked an inning in 2/3. And now it's over to Darren Oliver. 7th hitter, Mitch Moreland looks at the first pitch, strike. Moreland 3 for 12 against lefties. He has a home run. That came last night against Evan Crawford.
2 home runs against lefties in his career. Both of them against the Blue Jays.
Oh, and 2. Fouled off. Darren Oliver signed originally with the Texas Rangers in 1988. And then he came to the big leagues for the first time in '93. Then he went to St. Louis, played with the Cardinals for parts of 2 seasons. Back to Texas for a second time. Then bounced around Boston, Colorado, Florida, Houston. Went to the Mets. Actually retired after 2005. Felt like his career was over, but then former Ranger executive Sandy Johnson saw him at the winter meetings in 2005 in Dallas and said, "Hey, want to play some more?"
He throws strikes, left-handed. You can pitch forever if you do that. Then you've got a good breaking ball, which Darren has.
The breaking ball bounced in the dirt. But Oliver signed with the Mets, played 2006 in New York. Got to the postseason every year after that. So you can see why he refers to a league championship ring as a loser's ring. He wants the World Series ring. Two and two. Right-hander Jason Frazier up and throwing. Frazier had a good inning of work last night. Struck out a couple.
Orland's putting up a good at bat. Oliver is trying to get him to fish for that breaking ball off the plate. And he just hasn't been able to swing the bat.
Back. Mathis is going to go out and talk to Oliver. Look at the infield defense. Escobar is basically playing up the middle while Laurie is hugging the line. So against the left-handers, Moreland has a tendency to shoot the ball down the third base line. That's why Laurie is over there near the third base foul line.
Early in this at-bat, Moreland hit a ball that was foul. And that's when we had that shot of Brian Butterfield telling his infielders to move closer to the line, his third baseman, just to get him to get close. No doubles. Here's the hitting charts. But it's a spread out infield.
Another full count pitch. This ball is popped in the air and playable. Eric Thames, the left fielder, makes the catch. Darren Oliver comes out of the bullpen to get his man. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Faced Alexio Gando, and he's talking to Edwin Encarnacion. Encarnacion really looks up to Jose Bautista and his ability to break down pitchers.
It looked like what he was telling him, that fastball that starts about belt high, let it go because it's got a little extra oomph to it and it goes out of the strike zone. Look for the fastball that's down, and that's going to be in your wheelhouse.
Encarnacion is on deck. Adam Lynn will lead off the 8th. There's that fastball from Ogando, 97. There's that pitch Bautista was talking about, that belt-high fastball sails up and out of the zone.
Let it go. It's got a little bit too much speed on it. It just zooms out of the strike zone. Ogando, a very valuable arm for that Ranger team down in the bullpen.
And fouls it off.
Because he was stretched out last year, and they stretched him out a little bit this year, he can give you multiple innings. Ron Washington was telling us before the game he can get me the 5th, 6th, and 7th if need be. He can go 6 to 8 if he needs to. He's a big bridge to Joe Nathan, the closer.
This downstairs. Ogando came up in 2010, appeared in 44 games, exclusively working out of the bullpen. Then last year he made 29 starts, won 13 games, and pitched 169 innings. So he has been effective in both roles. 2-2 cut on and missed. Lynn strikes out. That starts the 8th. It is Tweeting Tuesday, and now it's time for the fan question of the game. Adam Templeton asks, what do you attribute Edwin Encarnacion's early season success to?
You know, we've talked about Encarnacion and the adjustments that he has made with his swing and how he keeps 2 hands on the bat. But the biggest thing for me is he's healthy. He's had wrist problems and shoulder problems. He has spent some time on the DL the last couple of years with that. He's healthy. And he's a little bit smarter hitter this year. I think he's picked up where he left off last year. And he has gotten off to just a great start. He's looked comfortable from opening day.
Broken bat, fly ball into center. Gentry comes in and makes the catch. 2 down here in the 8th. So Eric Thames actually started the rally. He had a routine ground ball to shortstop in the 7th inning. Elvis Andrus dropped it, his first error of the season. Francisco Cordero loosening up. 2 outs. Thames takes a pitch inside. Thames scored the 5th Blue Jay run after reaching on that air. Two and 0. Bouncing ball up the middle. Andrews near second. And that'll end the 8th. But the Blue Jays will head to the 9th with a 1-run lead. Francisco Cordero coming on to try to close it out. Tweeting Tuesday will take place May 15th. Blue Jays will take on the Tampa Bay Rays. Game time is 7:07 p.m. Great prizes to be won. First pitch, autographed merchandise, and T-shirts. Call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations for tickets. Rajai Davis comes off the bench to take over defensively in left field, and out of the bullpen, Francisco Cordero.
He is now a closer for the Blue Jays after Sergio Santos was placed on the disabled list on April the 22nd. There are his numbers in 10 games this year. 329 career saves for Francisco Cordero, and he starts off Gonzalez with a strike.
Gonzalez has had a good night, 2 for 3 at the plate. Scored a run and driven in a run. Taps this one toward third and foul. Adrian Beltre did not start this ball game. He had 3 hits in the game last night. He's come out on deck and he's loosening up.
Josh Hamilton still has his warm-up on.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to pinch hit. He's been dealing with a back issue. Left Sunday night's game because of a lower back problem, and you're right, he's got a sweatshirt on. He's not going to hit this inning. 0-2, another bouncing ball. Lowry from third base on the money.
Well, he's got such range. Knows Brett Lawrie playing deep. Watch him come in, attack this ball, and then with good athleticism gets the ball over to first base for the first out.
So Adrian Beltre will come off the Ranger bench. Beltre, his first pinch hit appearance of the season. Mentioned Beltre in last night's game. Doubled and scored in the second, had a single in the sixth, and another double in the seventh. Racing ball strike.
He's had some hamstring problems, but nothing wrong with his swing. Shot a double to right field in yesterday's ball game. That was his first time up down the right field line.
Beltre batting for Craig Gentry, who started in center field. We saw Kinsler on deck. They certainly don't want to go around this order too many times. You try to get out as quickly as you can, and Beltre, a big swing and a miss.
Thinking about tying it up with one swing. He's loose now after that cut.
Two down. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Connected. Here's Ken Reed and Ivanka Osman. Rangers are down to their last out. Leadoff hitter Ian Kinsler. Kinsler has gone 1 for 4 tonight. First pitch strike. Blue Jays were down 5-0 after an inning and a half, and they've come all the way back. They have a 1-run lead here in the ninth. 0-2.
Keep that ball away from him. He's got power. 30 home runs last year, so the outfield, no doubles, nothing over your head. The infield watching the corners, watching the lines. Wow, what a pitch. Cordero expanded the strike zone and threw a beautiful pitch, and watch how Kinsler is able to keep the at-bat alive. Wow.
He did everything he could to spoil that good pitch. Another 0-2 pitch. Cordero looks into Mathis for the side. Had do you lay off that pitch?
93 and at the knees.
It's a tough one to take. 1-2, 2 outs.
That's why you've got that third baseman on the line right there. He could hook that ball. Lloyd just took another step towards the line at third.
Base hit into center. He and Kinsler just sat back and put a smooth stroke, and the Rangers have life.
When you foul off the type of pitch that Cordero had and you live for another one, it's got to be a good feeling when you're able to do that. Just build your confidence, and then you have that type of swing. No stride by Kinsler, uses just his hands, and he keeps the game alive with that single to center.
Elvis Andrus. Kinsler, obviously a threat to steal, even with 2 outs. Not going. Cordero misses low. The Rangers this season, a perfect 6-0 record on the road when they had the lead with 6 innings. After 6 innings with the lead, they were a perfect 6-0 coming into this game.
And when trailing after 8 innings, Cordero's trying to make them 0-5 on the season. Good numbers for Ian Kinsler, stealing bases.
Cut on and missed. That evens the count of the ball and a strike. Base hit into center field. Kinsler is around second. Rasmus cuts it off. Gets the ball back to the infield. Andrews delivers. A 2-out single. It's first and third.
Not trying to do too much with the ball. Just send it back where it came from. First Kinsler, and now Andrews over at first base. Not a lot of movement from the shortstop of the Rangers. What a job by Rasmus to cut this ball off and get it back quickly. Kinsler was thinking, hey, if this ball gets by him, I'm going to score with his speed, but he's held up after that nice play by Rasmus.
Big pitch, the first pitch of this at bat, with Michael Young at the plate. He is a notorious first pitch hitter.
Yeah, he likes to go the other way. He's off the plate, inviting you to throw that ball away.
Off-speed pitch for a strike. Top of the ninth, 2 outs. Cordero looking for his 3rd save of the season. Base hit to center field. Kinsler comes in to score, and Young has tied it up with 2 outs. 3 hits to center from the Texas Rangers.
All with 2 outs. Never say die. They were down to their last strike Ian Kinsler fouled off a tough pitch from Cordero, singled. Andrews singled. Now Michael Young on a pitch on the inner half. Right back through the middle. Almost 3 of the same type of hits. Right back through the middle.
And they all look like Michael Young hits. So Andrews is at second, Young's at first, still 2 outs. Now Nelson Cruz. Cruz has gone 0 for 4 so far. Cuts on the first pitch, bounce toward third. Laurie will go to the bag for the force out. That ends the inning, but the Rangers have tied it up with a run here in the top of the ninth. It's 7-7. Francisco Cordero got the first 2 outs of the inning. Then Ian Kinsler with 2 strikes keeps the inning alive. Michael Young ties it up with a base hit to center. Now Mike Adams will come out to work the bottom of the ninth. Adams worked in last night's game. Pitched a 1-2-3-8 inning at the top of the order. David Murphy moves from left field to center field. Craig Gentry was pinch hit for. Brandon Snyder moves out to the outfield and plays left field. Comes off the bench. Catcher is Yorvik Torrealba. So the Rangers have made changes with Beltre hitting for the center fielder. Murphy moves in defensively to play center.
Snyder into the game, and now Torrealba. So the only guy left on the bench for Ron Washington is Josh Hamilton.
So the bottom third of the Blue Jays order. They've been on base 6 out of 9 plate appearances tonight. Laurie reached with a single his last time up. Mike Adams.
Well, it'd be good to get that speed on the bases to get it started. Tough to get the ball in the air against Adams. He sinks his fastball. Got a little bit of a slider.
Luis Perez loosening up. Blue Jays hope that he doesn't have to pitch. Outside, 2-0. This is a very good bullpen. The relievers coming into this game had a 1.11 ERA over their last 8 games. The season ERA coming into this game, 1.98. And on the corner.
That 198 ERA, you're just talking about second best in the American League.
The 3 runs they scored off Robbie Ross, the reliever, were unearned. Ogando worked 2 innings, allowed just 1 hit, struck out a batter. 2-1 to Brett Lawrie. Breaking ball outside. Full count.
Not afraid to throw that breaking ball anytime. Mike Adams, he's been around. Picked him up from San Diego last year. He and Koji Uehara. What an addition at the trade deadline. Solidified that bullpen.
High and deep to left field. Brett Lawrie. The top left fence, a walk-off home run for Brett Lawrie.
There we go. Well, Brett, you have something for the dramatics, don't you? Take us back to that at-bat and what you were thinking and about the pitch you hit for a home run.
So I catch my breath first. I'm just trying to get on in that situation. I'm just trying to be the leadoff guy and try and get off first base and hopefully make it a butt down and advance the runner. And it's got a pitch I can handle and just try to put good wood on it, and just got lucky.
This is the kind of game that kind of maybe epitomizes your team. Never give up. Down 5-0. Keep rallying.
Yeah, you know what? They swung the bats well. They came out and put a 5 spot up, and we hung in there. Threw the ball well and came back, and a little late, like in the 9th there. Kind of happens sometimes, and it's glad we came away tonight with the win.
The final one for you. Seen Jose Bautista hit that moonshot earlier in the game. He's been in a slump. What does it mean to you to see him with a big hit like that in a game like this?
It's May, baby. New start. First day, good first day all around. Came away with the win in May, and here we go again tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Brett. I appreciate it, guys. Buck, let's send it back to you upstairs.
Thank you, Tony. And the Blue Jays win it. Brett Lawrie, his 3rd home run of the season, a walk-off home run. The first home run allowed by Mike Adams, and it hit the top of the fence, but they got a good bounce.
Yeah, he throws a lot of sliders. He's going to have to walk off on that one. Tough to get the ball in the air because he gets a lot of ground ball outs, but Brett Lawrie unwinds on a breaking ball and got just enough of it right off the top of the wall for the game winner.
Texas came into this game. They had allowed only 16 home runs. The Blue Jays connected for 3 tonight.